Hey everyone, Austin here again, continuing our Mega Man Wily Wars Let's Play series. Today we're going to be playing through Mega Man 2, if I can figure out which file I was playing. Yep, that's the one. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in instead of just talking a lot, and try to get this done as quickly as possible. So, for those of you guys that are unaware, Mega Man Wily Wars was a 3-pack compilation released in Japan and Europe back in the day. It was released in North America on the Sega channel, which was sort of an old-fashioned download service. You can buy this cartridge that would plug into your Genesis and interface with your cable service, and you know, you would basically just download games, kind of like you do in modern day with Xbox Live and PlayStation Network and stuff like that. And Mega Man Wily Wars was brought over here as an exclusive for that Sega channel. Unfortunately, it was only brought over here that way back in the day, and thus most people in North America, up until, you know, just recently, were only able to play that through the Sega channel without emulating it. So a lot of us in North America actually ended up missing out on that game. But fortunately now, thanks to emulation, but also thanks to flash cartridges and reproductions of these classic games, we are able to actually play these now on our actual Sega Genesis systems without using the Sega channel. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using a reproduction of the Wily Wars that I picked off somebody at a convention recently. And so yeah. Now, I've already done a full Let's Play on the first Mega Man remake on this compilation. And but in case you guys missed that, that is also on my channel. There is also eventually going to be a Mega Man 3 Let's Play, and I'm going to attempt the elusive Wily Tower, which is a special mode that gets unlocked once you finish all three Mega Man games on the same save file. This game does save your progress, and you know, it does have a battery built in, which is nice, and even the reproductions can have that. So if you're looking to buy a reproduction of this game, make sure you ask the seller if it has a battery in it. I've seen some where they don't, and you definitely want to get one that does have a battery if you plan on buying a reproduction, because you want to be able to save your progress without having to beat the games all three straight through in order to access Wily Tower. So, part 4 should eventually come. I'm going to attempt to run through Wily Tower. Kind of an interesting mode. It's not my favorite mode of the game. I'd say it actually kind of used to be my favorite mode of the game, because it was just so unique the first time I played it. But going back to it recently, you know, it's just kind of... It's cool, but you could tell they kind of just, like, point-and-clicked enemies in on the map and didn't put too much thought and effort into it. But it is a novelty. I like being able to go in to a exclusive map set and being able to use weapons from Mega Man's 1, 2, and 3. Not just weapons, but abilities as well. And that's pretty great. But you guys will get to see that eventually, for sure. I'll definitely do a Let's Play on that. So now, if you guys haven't noticed, your firing rate in this is a little dinky compared to the actual original NES Mega Man games, and you know, it's just something you gotta get used to. It's something I definitely did not like when I first played this game, but you know, you get used to it, and I don't really even think about it anymore. The sound effects when you connect with your enemies is also a little dinky as well. A little underwhelming is the better way to say it. But there are some really great things about this compilation. I already touched on this a lot in my first Mega Man series, and one of the great things is just like the graphics and the colors are great. Like, especially in Mega Man 2, they did a really great job with Mega Man 2 here, and the other thing is the music. The music is just great. It just fits the Genesis hardware very well, and honestly, personally, I feel that they did the best job on the Mega Man 2 soundtrack as far as the recreations go on this game. I don't know if that's just thanks to... I was thinking about it since I did my first Mega Man Let's Play on the Wily Wars about a week ago, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder if Mega Man 2 just sounds better than the other three on this cartridge, just because the Mega Man 2 soundtrack is just so detailed, and there's so many like differing rhythms and stuff like that, and patterns, and it's just a phenomenal soundtrack through and through. And I wonder if that's why it just sounds better in the Genesis than in like the Mega Man 3 or Mega Man 1 soundtracks. Like the Mega Man 2 soundtrack is very dynamic, you know, whereas Mega Man 3 has a phenomenal soundtrack as well. All the tracks are a little more samey than what you get in Mega Man 2. Like the variety in Mega Man 2 is just off the wall, off the charts. But then again, I don't know if it's just that, because, you know, again, Mega Man 3 on the NES has a phenomenal soundtrack as well. Some might even say it's better than Mega Man 2's soundtrack. It's kind of subjective, I guess, but the thing is, Mega Man 2 on the Genesis feels like it has more bass than Mega Man 1 or Mega Man 3 on the Genesis. So it's like, I don't know, maybe they the sound guy worked on Mega Man 2 last in the whole process, you know, the whole development process. I don't know, I'm just kind of like hypothesizing, theorizing. But it is kind of interesting to me that Mega Man 2 just, it seems to have a beefier, chunkier soundtrack than either Mega Man 1 or 3 on the Wily Wars. So just something interesting I've been thinking about since I did my first Let's Play on this game. So when I go through this game, I am going to be using the Robot Master weapons, the weakness weapons against each boss. Mainly because I just want this to go along relatively quickly. Mega Man 1 wasn't a super long game, although that Let's Play ended up becoming somewhat long because I died quite a few times on certain parts of the game. But Mega Man 2 is definitely a longer game than the first Mega Man, so I do want to sort of just, you know, keep pushing on. Of course, just like the NES Mega Man, you're stuck watching these in-between scenes. Alright, so we got Bubble Man. We're gonna do Woodman. Because I want to get, I'm gonna use Woodman against Airman. Airman against Crashman. Crashman against, I actually don't really ever use Crashman against anything. Oh, getting destroyed. Oh, jeez. Oh, taking my time. Man, guys, I am at, you guys have no idea, I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm like, what do I talk about? I mean, it's Mega Man 2, but it's like, I don't know what to talk about. I think I've said I've said all that needs to be said in my Mega Man 1 Let's Play for the Wily Wars, and now I'm just at a loss for words. I'm like, what do I do? What do I say? What are you buying? What are you selling? I have no idea, guys. You guys should tell me what to say. You should be like, hey, Austin. Oh, wait. I don't have a live crowd. That's right. Sometimes doing Let's Plays can be a little awkward. Awkward with myself. So I noticed like the flooring here throughout this level has different colored lights on it. So a few screens back they were yellow, and on this screen it's red. I thought that's pretty cool. Little detail I don't think that's in the NES version. So Woodman is kind of a pain in the ass in this game, if you ask me. I mean, he's always been a bit of a pain, but in this version, he's just like an extra pain because I think it's because when you attack enemies in this game, bosses included, well, mostly bosses, sorry. When you attack bosses in this game, it seems like you can't actually attack them as quickly as you could in the actual Mega Man 2. But I can't complain, I didn't get hit. Normally I get hit a bunch of times at Woodman. You gotta time your jump over his leaf wheel just perfectly. But when you hit a boss in this game, they start flashing, and any other shot you make just gets absorbed by them and doesn't actually do any damage. Very much like Mega Man 3 on the NES. And so that makes it difficult to to do damage on these bosses as quickly as you could on the NES version. The boss hit detection on the NES one was pretty different from how it operates in this one, and I don't really know how to describe it perfectly, but for those of you guys that have played a lot of Mega Man 2 on the NES, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Once you get a feel for this game, you start playing it, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is definitely different, and I'm definitely noticing I'm not doing damage as quickly on the bosses. And thanks to how slow you fire in this game, you'll also notice you're going to be doing damage. Oops. Wow. Okay. You're going to be noticing that you're going to be doing a whole lot less damage on these normal enemies than you're used to as well. So if you're used to just rushing through this game and firing really, really quickly at enemies and taking them out before they even hop on screen, basically, it's not going to work quite the same. You know, on Mega Man, the classic Mega Man games, you could fire so quickly that your shots are like all touching each other or close to it. In this game, that's about as fast as I can fire. Yeah, it's kind of crappy, but again, it's just something you get used to. I do feel it hurts the flow of the game, or it hurts the optional flow of the game. The great thing about Mega Man is you can kind of play through it how you wanted to. You can play through it slow, you can play through it fast. This game is just like, no, we're gonna make you kind of play through it relatively slow. Or at lukewarm speed. Is that even a speed? So... and I'm not sure why they did that. I wonder if it was... well, I don't know why they did that. And those birds in this version, they don't fly behind the clouds, which is interesting. Notice how I go behind the clouds, but the birds don't. So that's a dynamic that's been lost. So Woodman does a ton of damage to Airman, as you guys will see in just a moment. But he also does a ton of damage to you too. Mega Man looks pissed off in this version. He's got like the pockets under his eyes. He's got the scowling look. Oh, come on, man. No. It never takes me this long to do this. Oh, jeez. Absolutely pathetic. Thank you. Thank you, Mega Man gods who are looking down upon me. Oh, jeez. We're just gonna skip this. And we just use Bubble Man on Heat Man. And that's it. And so if you guys couldn't tell, probably the fastest way to go through this game is by using Metal Man a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that if you want to just try to get through the game relatively quickly. So, if you want to do constant damage on these bosses, you've got to time your shots to where the second the invulnerability phase of the boss hit goes away, your next hit hits them. If you watch some speedrunners do it, they get the timing perfect. Me, I'm not even, I don't speedrun, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But it is possible to get a constant string of hits where it's just like, bam, 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 and like you see the boss's life just drop in that specific rhythm. This soundtrack is so bassy compared to the other ones on this same cartridge. It's great. I love it. Whoa, that was weird. I gotta admit, this part's not nearly as cool though. Because on the NES version, this whole area turns like reddish orange because of the fire dudes. But you don't have that in this version, unfortunately. Slight detail they missed. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna need some health here, man. Lame. Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Can't you charge up with Heat Man against Quick Man? I don't remember. I guess let's find out. Oh, it let it go! Man, it's before the times of Mega Man 4 where you can hold your charge through a door like that. Oh! You son of a bitch! God damn it, man! He's not even that fast in this version. Oh, how am I gonna do this now without using E-tanks? Or at least I know that Heat Man works on him now. We're gonna have to use some E-tanks because there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this. Oh, and you can't hit start until your bullets go off screen. Stupid, man. Ah, what a pain. That was my fault, though. Totally my fault. Look, now Mega Man has a reason for being pissed. That's right, Mega Man. You show your anger. You show your true feelings. I would too if I was wearing a pink suit like that. Alright, last level. Then we're at the famous Dr. Wily stages. Whee! Oh, I still got hit. Whoops. Or at least I get that E-Tank back. Alright, so for Crash Man we need to use Airman against him. And that's it. Crash Man seems to have a pattern where every time you shoot, he jumps. So something to keep in mind when you fight against him. Crash Man was always the hardest boss for me back in the day. Not counting Quick Man. But that's just because I never knew the pattern. I never really caught the pattern when I was young. But, you know, as an adult, it's just, oh, every time I shoot, he jumps. So, and he shoots towards me. So it's actually not that hard. Guys like Flashman are actually tougher because you're pretty much guaranteed to take damage against those fights. Like, there's no room to just really jump over them, and but they don't do a ton of damage. I'm pretty sure Crash Man does do a lot of damage. Quick Man, I still haven't figured out his pattern. 27 years after this game came out. Or 28 years. Was this 87 or 88? I think it was 88. Yeah, because first Mega Man was 87. Alright, I'm just gonna skip that. Ooh, okay, never mind. Oh, Jesus, I did it again. God damn it. I was gonna say, I'm just gonna skip that extra life, but, and suck at using my items. My item number 3. Now the reason I'm doing this is I want to use my item 3 for going up here, not my item 1, because I need my item 1 shortly thereafter. You know, the Wily stages are designed to where you pretty much have to use all your items. Or at least your special item numbers, like 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I don't need health. I just really wish the game was smart enough to know, hey, you got full health. Let's not give you health icons. You know, let's just fill your weapons up so you don't have to just sit here and grind for days. Alright, screw it. I'm gonna get it now. Ah! Got it. Alright, so this part's actually a little more difficult than it is in the NES version, so be careful when you get here. And I sort of just tank my way on this boss. I try to get forward on the platform so it doesn't knock me off. Come on. I didn't want to do that, but Doofus was just staying low. Got him. So yeah, if you stay forward on the platform and you get hit, the knockback in this game doesn't seem to be as large as it is in the NES version. So, as long as you're forward on the platform, you're not going to get knocked off when you get hit. But since you can't fire nearly as fast as you can in the NES version, it actually takes longer to take that boss out, unfortunately. And that kind of sucks. So I'm going to skip that stuff because I don't want to use my Crashman power-up. I want to save that for later. Alright, so now we're on the second wave of Wily stages. I think there's really only 4 main Wily stages, not counting the last boss rush. Yeah, 1, 2, and then there's a boss rush, and then there's a final sort of secret. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, just because. Because there's item power here. I could just replenish it. Cool. So no harm done there. And I was gonna say I was gonna get those, but should be fine. Alright, so this part right here, when you're falling down in the water, it actually is harder than it is on the NES version. You fall so quickly that you've really got to position yourself just right, otherwise you're going to get hit by those spikes. I never really understood that. You know, you're in water and you fall faster and faster and faster. Isn't that kind of unrealistic? Isn't it in water you kind of float really slowly down? I mean, I know Mega Man is like metal and all, right? But I don't know, maybe that's why. And I will admit, I do like the straight black background on this boss on the NES version. Like, it just gives the fight more of an ominous feeling. Even though I know that probably wasn't its original intention. They probably did it just because it was probably really damn hard to animate this boss while having a background. Actually, in the NES version, he probably was the background. They just had it moving back and forth. And then they just had like a sprite with his hand moving up and down, moving in conjunction with it. I'm gonna assume that's probably how they did it. Alright, so this is arguably the trickiest stage in the game. And I want all my item powers maxed out for later on at the boss fight. Although the boss fight that we're talking about in this game is not as tricky as it is in the NES version, and I'll show you what I mean when we get there. So right here, I always just use the item 2 because you can't fall to your death. I don't remember which gaps are where on that part, so I just use number 2 now to get ahead. Alright. So this part pretty much requires Crashman in order to beat him. Or it. It's not really him, it's a bunch of things. So I'm just going to use item 1 to go up here, kill this dude. Oh, sorry about that, guys. So one of the cool things you can do in this one that I don't think you can do in the NES version is pop one of these right here, and it should destroy both. Yeah, I'm going to use a E-tank, because definitely not going to survive that. So it's actually not quite as strict with the usage of Crashman. You still got to make sure you have enough to kill all the cores. That's a big important part. But you can actually take out multiple doors, which is the perfect placement of Crashman's weapon. I don't think it's possible to take any of those dudes down without Crashman. I think you have to have Crashman. Okay, so Heatman could take out Quickman as long as you use all of Heatman's power. It's interesting. And that still works. Why it works, I have no idea. Alright, so now we're on the final boss. And I just realized the floor dropped below me there, which is kind of cool, because that doesn't happen on the NES version. So basically, the game signifies that Wily drops you down to here, basically. That's kind of cool. Holy shit. Did you guys see that? That was one hit. She's gotta play it super safe now. Not even a hard boss fight, but... Wow. So lesson learned, don't touch him. He takes 3/4 of your health off. So there you have it, guys. Mega Man 2 on the Mega Man Wily Wars compilation. Yeah. Again, just like at the beginning of this Let's Play, I still have no idea what to say. It's Mega Man 2. I mean, it's really... That's it. It's Mega Man 2. If you're familiar with these Mega Man games, you kind of know what you're getting into with this compilation. Again, there are some quirks, like with the firing rate and with the, you know, the invincibility time when you hit bosses and things like that. It takes some time to get used to, but overall it's still really fun. It's really solid. It's a lot better when you're just kind of playing it solo and got the volume cranked and you're just zoned out into the game, versus me where I've got like half an earbud on and I'm talking into a microphone and I'm not really zoned into the game. But it is really fun. I think Mega Man 2 is my favorite Mega Man on this compilation. A lot of it's because of the music. Like, the music just really sings on the Sega Genesis sound hardware. It's just, I don't know, something about that Mega Man 2 soundtrack. It just works very well with the Sega Genesis sound hardware. Mega Man's 1 and 3 in this compilation, I can't quite say the same for. They've still got some great music, but there's just like a certain oomph that's missing with those two on this specific package. And you guys will probably hear what I mean once I get to Mega Man 3. But still good stuff. Again, if you want to check out a reproduction of this game, just make sure it's got a battery in it. Or just load it up to a flash card, or just play it in emulation. Capcom still has not brought this game to any sort of emulation virtual console service, and so the only way you can get this is, well, by taking matters into your own hands. So guys, that's pretty much it. I'll be back soon with a Mega Man 3 Let's Play from the Wily Wars compilation. And yeah, until then, take it easy, guys.